with me to the desert on the first trip of the year for me. It is bright and early New Year's Day. I caught a flight to Las Vegas where I'm going to meet up with some friends. This itinerary is nuts. I don't recommend doing it, but I thought it would still be fun to share for those who are as energetic and wild as I am. So, made it to Las Vegas. Got picked up in a rental car and immediately headed to a state park. My friends picked up these donuts. I kept seeing billboards for them everywhere. This one was actually really cute to look at, but horrendous to eat. It was just all cream.
Why is it gray?
I don't know if I'd recommend them, but I would recommend Valley of Fire State Park. About less than an hour outside of Las Vegas, there are numerous hiking trails. We did the White Dome Circle first. The rock formations are really cool, and of course, beautiful colors and vibrant reds and fiery oranges everywhere. It was so beautiful to walk around. With the sun winding down, we did head to what I'm considering like Instagram point, where you get that beautiful shot of the road. Sunsets in the deserts are so vibrant and gorgeous, and this definitely won't be the last this trip. So we caught these pinky hues on the edge of the park because we wanted to go see this elephant rock. And since we are in the Southwest, lots and lots of Mexican food. This is one of those drive-through styles, really excellent. This trip's gonna have loads of walking, 16,000 steps completed on day one. So after grabbing a quick bagel, we headed out west to head to Death Valley National Park. But first, we had to stop in the town of Beatty, which is full of donkeys. They were very, very friendly. Make sure you are doing safe wildlife interaction practices. These donkeys are used to people, but it's better to keep your distance. I'm trying to walk away here. That little one was a bit snippy, so headed back in the car. And you can see they are used to being fed. It's not the best to feed them. So after driving in the car, we headed to the ghost town Rhyolite area where they have all this art. That was the Desert Lady, the Venus of Nevada. Really cool statues. They have a museum that you can go inside and check, but while we were there, they had a "we'll be back soon" sign. So off to the ghost town itself. This, of course, was a boom town for mining. That was only around for like 10 years, back in like 1905. And this is all that's remained. This building was a casino later, and that's why it looked a little bit nicer. But ghost towns are super, super cool. So after doing a little bit of walking around, time to actually head into California and Death Valley proper. Check out some of the sand dunes. The mountains just looking so purple and stunning. We started to do a little bit of a hike in the Mosaic Canyon. This is really cool. We did not complete this hike, but we did get a beautiful glimpse of all of the different colors and styles and rock formations. Again, just super beautiful to hike around. Then it was off to Badwater Basin to walk on below the seafloor, out on those salt flats. Just love the look of how white and crusty the fields are. We are racing against the sun, and we wanted to catch Artist Palette in golden hour, but the sun dipped behind the mountain ridge before that. But you can still pick up on a lot of the beautiful blues and oranges within that little region. Starving after a day out in the sand, we hit up some local barbecue in a town nearby. For day 3, we're heading to the Hoover Dam. So in Boulder City, we got some coffee and smoothie bowls at a little cafe. That was very, very cute. The Hoover Dam is at the Nevada-Arizona border. You can cross and walk over the bridge, and you can also walk over the Hoover Dam as well. And for today's hike, we wanted to go see Liberty Bell Arch. There are some popular hot springs around this region, but we wanted to go see the Bell. And I have a bone to pick with this hike. We went out, we were kind of near some sheer cliffs, The views of all of the different layers of mountain is really beautiful, as well as some old mining equipment that was laying around. But that's the arch. It just felt like so much work to get to this arch, and it wasn't that cool. Okay, sorry. I had to get that out of my system. Back in Vegas, we headed to Ike's Sandwiches because that is Billie Eilish's favorite vegan sandwiches. And then we headed to the Red Rock State Park. That is another beautiful blazing red canyon that you get to drive around. We did the smallest bit of little walking around and exploring. There were some petroglyphs that we could catch a glimpse of. And on our way out, we experienced one of the most beautiful pinky sunsets. And so we really lucked out. Again, the desert is just so splendor when it comes to a sunset. So I wish we hung out here a little bit more. Maybe I took a time lapse, but super, super lovely. Day 4, we have been staying at an Airbnb and it had this beautiful view. So caught the tail end of sunrise before heading out for the day. It's time to head to Utah. So we drove about 3 hours to get to Zion National Park. The goal was to get into the narrow valley part of the park where pretty much everything is. During the winter time, you're able to drive your car, whereas in the summer you need to take shuttles. It was full, so we did go and do a external canyon hike that I'd been wanting to do for a while. This is the Canyon Overlook Trail on the other side of the tunnel. It is a really short hike, only about a mile round trip with stunning views. After our hike, we went back to see if any of that congestion had lightened up, and we were told by the park ranger to come back around 3 or 4. They'll be letting more people in. So we did go ahead and not complete, but do a good chunk of the Watchman Trail. And huzzah, later in the afternoon, they were letting cars into the valley region. So we parked at the end to do the river walk section. This is the first section of the Narrows where people are walking through the river. There are actually several people that had all the equipment and correct clothing to do so. So I imagine they did the hike, which is really crazy. I was kind of jealous, but we'll have to do that another time. And then after checking out and seeing all the beautiful tall rocks, we headed back to Vegas for the night. Oh goodness, is this day 5? Are we actually doing Vegas things? So we checked out the Vegas sign, stood in line and got a photo, and then checked out this container park that has some old art and so much beautiful architecture design and gogi art around. We then went to Chinatown and had dim sum, which was absolutely delicious. These little duck fried meatball things were so fun. Green beans, of course. Always got to get the green beans at dim sum. But pretty much everything that we ate was fabulous, including these custard dumplings. I'd never had anything like that before. It was so delightful. Now time to take the proper afternoon to walk and explore the Strip. So we parked and bopped around all the different casinos, looked at all the beautiful and fun lights. This is New York, New York, the Cosmopolitan. Did a little bit of gambling, but not much, at some of the machines. Paris, the Flamingo. The Flamingo's cool because they have the flamingos in the back. We spent several hours walking one side of the Strip, and we wanted to get a sweet treat, so we found some edible cookie dough on our way to the MGM to go see Cirque du Soleil. This is the Caw show, which is very impressive. They have this big mechanical board that they do a lot of their acrobats on. amazing. When you're Vegas, you gotta go see a show. And after the show, we then headed to Fremont to go see the lights and musical shows that they have on the ceilings. They're playing like Shakira and a bunch of other different artists each hour. So very, very fun in the Fremont Old Vegas section. For our last morning, we headed back to that area for a delightful breakfast, nice bright sunny, nice view of the stratosphere, and just kind of walked around and checked out some vintage shopping, some of the different wall art and murals, and yeah, just had a delightful day in the sun, bopping around for some vintage and ending the day, of course, with tacos. I already missed them so much. And then it was back on the airplane back home to Seattle. And yeah, that was a very, very full week in the desert, kicking off the new year strong. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy travels from me to you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.